Good morning. With this cyborg class in this semester, today extending our discussion last week about what to think. So I'd like to bring another issue to promote and support our discussion previously done last week about the being. So what we are. So in order to think. So then we connect those ideas with the thinking and as opposed to perceive we discussed last week. So why we think? So I think, so we think to contribute to our society, otherwise we don't survive. So very difficult to survive, very difficult to live without thinking, without contribution. So please think about if you are not able to contribute to our society, to colleagues, to family, how difficult you are to live with this, the thought on your mind, on our mind. That's the importance of our, the being, importance of being through contribution to our society. So to contribute, we have to think. We have to be what we are. So we have two different kinds of being. So first one, being is self, to show ourselves. So we are. So when doing game with other colleagues, with our friend, with our opponent in the game, so we are. So even though we are not doing any things in the soccer game, for example, we do not kick, we do not play, we do not learn, but we are still the part of the one position out of 11. But if you kick the ball, if you pass the ball, if you run on the ground to play something, so we become existence. So to contribute to our team through our playing, we are doing. So we have a being, we are being, and we can also existence. So there are two different kinds, as I mentioned, the being and existence. So then we are going to relate these two different types of being, the first being and the second existence, to our capability of perceiving capability and the thinking process. So how we show ourselves to other person, even to ourselves as well. The first one, we have the sense. So otherwise we cannot show ourselves to others outside our mind, outside our the sensing brain and all the body. So first the sense. So then I already told you probably in the first the class of this talk, we perceive in an immediate way, so as opposed to mediate ways. So immediate means we sense object to show ourselves toward the outside world through the appearance. The perceiving process and the sensing process is nothing but making appearance outside our brain and body through our sense system in a perceiving way, in an immediate way. So after that, we can show some kind of appearance outside our body, outside our sensing body, toward the outside. So that's the one kind of a contribution. So that's the beings. Otherwise, nobody actually recognize our being. the presence toward the world. And then we show our immediate appearance to outside. So that's the being. And then we think based on the appearance. So a thinking process is different from perceiving process. As we already discussed, we have to make the form. We can make image. We can make the product outside, and the following our appearance to show them to other person, to be able to be communicated through the sign once again. So thinking is to form image, so representations, so different kinds of appearance, and sometimes order. So forms the appearance and image with the order. So we would like to form an order towards the world to change our society, sometimes adapt ourselves to the society based on our understanding of order already formed. But we would like to create a new order through this form by thinking. So following our perceiving process. So in summary, we perceive to be being. And the secondary, we would like to be existence, another forms of being toward the outside, differently from the being through sign. So with the communications, by making order, so because we can make a newly formed order through our sign in the process of a communication in a society, the system. So that's the thinking. So thinking guide understanding to make a concept or sometimes knowledge. So we started from perceiving process in an immediate way, and then we use our thinking capability to form order toward the society, to contribute ourselves to be existence, to make knowledge. So that's the second way to contribute our society, to be existence at this time. The perceiving process so help us to contribute as what? Being. So we already be there as being. So as being, nobody recognize actually, but you perceive yourselves, the outside object, to be being some kind of, so through your immediate way. So using a sense of seeing, sense of hearing, sense of smelling, tasting, and touching, and then we can contribute to our society through your being, and then through thinking process. At this time, we have to use a sign to be communicated, to contribute in a different way. At this time, immediate way, as opposed to immediate way. And then we have to use a sign to communicate with other person, our colleagues. In a soccer game, for example, as I mentioned earlier in this talk. Okay. But in digital society, so the situation changed. Even in an immediate way, immediate process, the perceiving process with us, because we are cyborg sometimes, equipped with digitalized instrument. Then at the first step, the step of the sensing and the perceiving, even we are using immediate immediate method, immediate way, indirectly and sometimes directly connected to immediate way, because we are equipped, even if we use our sense to perceive ourselves and the object in the world, to show ourselves outside our body, outside our brain. Okay, so that then we are supposed to use the sign in a, ironically, very interestingly, in an immediate step. So there are the kind of confused. So the other way that we have to the perplexed situation as a complex one instead of a complicated one. So there is a way to understand this one, because we understand we are using a digital sign to sense something. So we have a smartphone, we have a computer like this one, and then even we use our sense, still see, still smell, still touching, still touch, but we indirectly affected by a digital sign, indirectly, consciously, sometimes unconsciously. So that's the Cyborg Think the issue. But today we are talking about what? Being and existence to contribute to our society. Otherwise, we don't survive. We understand this one in an evolving evolution types and approaching way. So then we are living a complex society, not a complicated society. So we have a still order, very complex order, because we form every time through our sensing, through our thinking, with the helps of the sign, because we equipped to digitalize the instrument, because we are talking, we believe in, if you agree, Cyborg Think. And then, okay, so we would like to contribute, of course, otherwise we don't survive, but that's the evolution. And nobody actually controls us, we control, because we are making order through the forming some kind of pattern, some kind of orderly society, orderly systematic. So we have a being, we are being, but nobody recognized. And to be existence, we have to communicate. But at this time, in the times of a Cyborg Think, we actually perceive to contribute as well, because we are the cyborg sometime. Okay, at this time, and so after the thinking process, thinking discourse, so we would like to make what is unseen to be seen as being. Okay, so we have a hope. We have a hope to contribute. In the secondary, so we synthesize those what are unseen to be combined, to be synthesized, not combined, to be synthesized with other things unseen to propose the new things. So first one, so we defined those one discourse, because we actually intuitively show what are unseen, the seen, to be seen, so outside our body. So we defined those one appearance as well, and sometimes we already defined at the last week logos, right? And the secondary, we have reasons to combine, to synthesize what we have, what are concerned, hidden outside our mind, behind our sense, with what are unseen outside, and to propose new things. So we have the reason. Okay, first thing, so we have the reason types of logos. We have two different logos, by the way, to contribute. Okay, the first one, discourse. So we defined, okay, we find what are unseen, the behind our mind, behind our world, toward our world, to the colleagues, get to contribute. That's another contribution as existence. The second, we propose our logos through our thinking process to be existence, to show what are unseen, to be synthesized with another unseen. So we have regions. So first one, discourse, and second, region with a logos. So combine everything. So by the way, so we are talking about Cyborg Think and thinking process. They're different from perceiving process, but in the matter of contribution as being an existence, they're interlocking the portion between perceiving process and thinking process, because we are cyborg. You get to with the smartphone and digitalized instrument. So I'm not talking about in a negative way to tell, to announce we are cyborg. That's the kind of a positive way. So we can actually better contribute to our colleagues to propose a newly formed order, because exactly because we are cyborg. So that's the main topic of today with my talks, with the theme, with the topic of the being and existence. Okay, thank you very much, and we can continue to talk with this topic of Cyborg Think. Once again, if you have any comment and question, please email me or drop by my office. So we are now more better situation with the COVID-19 from today. Okay, so thank you for sharing this the talk. Okay, and see you soon, probably next week. Thank you very much.